Good morning. Just getting Jammers all settled in. She has her, and make sure I'm not all askew here and tucked in. So she's settling in on her bed right there. So we're going to be set to go. So I'm a little bit later this morning by a couple of minutes, and so thank you for finding me. We are, for our morning meditation this morning, going to do a square breath into our meditation. Good morning, Sandra. And that, lots of reasons to do pranayama, to do a breath practice before we go into our meditation. But one of the reasons is to quiet the thinking mind. So before we dive into our square breath, I do want to give a shout out to Suzanne Mongrain-Smith, who inspired this type of square breath that I'm going to do with you. And what Suzanne did, it's a couple of months ago now. So if Suzanne pops on, or I know she's in the midst of traveling, but if we can link up that square breath to one of her mantras on her Kuvalaya page, it inspired me to add some hand mudras and movement to square breath, which again helps the brain. Anytime that we can layer doing something with our body and breath work, we tend to remember, and I think it just has a stronger effect. So that's what we're going to do this morning in a couple of moments as I'm welcoming you on. Good morning, Cheryl. Fantastic. Nice to see you, and Mom as well. So coming into our square breath, I just want you to be nice and comfy, cozy. When we talk about quieting the thinking mind, this is just where the research is so fantastic in meditation. And it reminds me, because I say this, that meditation is not for everyone, but a type of meditation, a type of mind work, a type of thinking management is for everyone. So whether we call it meditation or whether it's journaling, or whether it's any other combination, because our mind is so powerful and our thinking is so wild, that I truly do believe everyone can benefit from some type of practice, whether or not you call it meditation. So on that note, as we use our pranayama and come into quieting the thinking mind, one of the speakers I was just listening to in a summit, and he's a psychiatrist, and he's talking about addictions and the addiction to thinking. And he talked about other addictions as well, but puts our addiction to thinking in the same habit loop. And that's I'm just going to let that sit out there. It's a really, really interesting concept when you think that that our brain just doesn't like to chill. It wants to be just grasping for things. So one of the practices that I do, and I'd love you to think about this for perhaps, and I've just started with this practice, perhaps there is a route, there is a somewhere that you go that is very similar, that you can think about that concept of when we are in the present moment and when we are switched over to our thinking, because that is our practice of meditation. So going into the cottage, so I'll be driving into the cottage today, and I can think my way all the way to the cottage. I can get on that cottage road and I can go, oh, I feel so wonderful, and here we go, and I see the trees, and then boom, my mind's like, what do I need to clean when I get there? What do I need to do? Did I pack everything? Did I shut the stove off in the house? My mind is like going, and I'm not even aware. I'm not aware until I'm aware. Until I'm like, okay, Lori, hands on the wheel, right? Because there are other, we still have some traffic on this road. hands on the wheel, bum on the seat, eyes on the road, also able to draw in. I can open the window, right? I can smell the trees, I can feel the wind, and I can see the colors, all of that. I'm there, and then I'm gone. Then I'm like, back to my to-do list at the cottage. It's really, it's interesting, it's funny, but it is a chance for us to strengthen the area of our brain responsible for concentration, right? This is part of meditation. And here's the other neat thing about the research, is that as we do these little practices, so you don't have to be sitting, you can be driving, especially for those of you that have a little bit of a drive into work, right? Be there and notice when your mind goes forward or goes back. Smile, a little bit of a laugh, right? Here we are. This is my meditation practice. So the other part of this research around the meditation is that meditation also shuts off or deactivates the part of our brain that goes into that default mode. And so as we do these practices, seated right now together, as you practice and that's a mindfulness practice, as you are going to do this perhaps during the week, then we do deactivate that default mode where we ruminate, where we're thinking about, we don't even realize we're thinking, social comparison, worrying, that's all the default mode stuff. And when we're in default mode, it's not necessarily a happy place for our body, physically, mentally. But when we're in the moment, we can be happier. Even if that moment isn't like joyful, crazy, happy, but we're in that awareness. So as we move in this morning, good morning, Jackie. Wonderful to have you ladies joining in this morning. So that is the default mode, okay? 47 to 60% of our waking time, we are in default mode, and we can change that. Okay, by being in the present moment, by practicing, and really have fun with this. Just like notice, I'm just thinking again. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here. Now, full disclosure, I have not been able to do this all the way to the cottage yet. It is my summer goal. It is my summer goal to be in the present moment all the way to the cottage. So I'm going to put that challenge out to all of you I'm going to come forward, hey Gail, and use this, as a little bit of a meditation practice. So that difference between default mode, okay, when we're ruminating, thinking, and present awareness mode, mindfulness, and we're going to, again, quiet our mind, come into our square breath, okay, which is a wonderful, again, let's say mudra breathing practice. And then we're going to end with practicing our meditation. So from here, for your square breath, it is inhaling for 4. When we inhale for 4, I'd like you to sweep your arms up like you're inhaling and drawing in that energy of the day. We're going to pause by taking our thumb and index finger to signify to our brain and our body that we are pausing, okay? Then we're going to exhale for 4. Let go of any tension, tiredness from anywhere, from the week, from our sleep, anything. And then we pause for 4. So I'm going to set the rhythm, but you can do your own rhythm, however it works for you. We're going to inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4. Okay? All right, let's settle on in. Just notice again, or be aware of your breath, your starting point for your breath. Relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. Your eyes can be open or closed for this. Totally up to you. We're preparing our thinking mind to chill a little bit. Feel free to join in when you're ready. Arms are nice and relaxed. Fingers are nice and relaxed. So inhaling with the mouth closed for 4. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, and pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, and pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. In. Pause. Out. Pause. I'm going to be quiet now. Last one. And relax your arms down. Come back to your regular breath. Rest your hands in any position that you'd like. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling your inhalation and gently flowing in, your exhalation gently flowing out. Lift the sides of your mouth into a light or bigger smile. Feel the lightness, the sparkling, and the smile around your eyes. And the present moment is the feeling of your breath flowing in and out. It may be some sounds around you as well. And I'm going to leave you now just to notice when your attention goes to planning your day, your grocery list, reflecting on yesterday, planning the weekend, just have a bigger smile on your face. Right? Just knowing your mind wants to play, wants to do this tug of war, and then come back to feeling your bum on the floor, your hands on your thighs, if you'd like, on your knees, the sound of your house, the sound of your yard, the sound of outside. And just stay with that until you're not with it anymore. Your mind has gone into the thinking. Smile again. Rinse and repeat. And for the last couple of minutes, being in your body, being in the space that you're in. Connect back to your smile. And perhaps just before we end our practice together, I am going to ask you to think. As you shift from being to thinking about an opportunity. Sometimes the mindfulness opportunities arise or spontaneous, and the more you practice, the more they will arise and be spontaneous. But at the beginning, as we're practicing, we can think about those opportunities. The driving somewhere, the doing something in the house that you want to be, with eating your breakfast, with drinking your coffee. And even at night, as we are letting go into sleep, sometimes our brain tries to think us to sleep. And then we'll say, let's breathe into our sleep. And we can also practice our mindfulness from our breath work into being on our pillow, in our cozy sheets, perhaps with lavender on lightly on our pillow. Those are mindfulness opportunities. From the moment you wake up in the morning to letting go to sleep at night. And so if you haven't already opened your eyes or started to stretch, go ahead and move. And so I hope I've inspired you. Yay, Suzanne. So a little late to the party. I love that. Yes. And so we did our square breath at the beginning. And I did reference a square breath you did with your mantra on your page, my dear, on the Kuvalaya page. If you can link that up here, that would be awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed, Rachel. Excellent. So nice to have you join in as well. And so, yes, have fun. And I'm also going to give a shout out to my podcast that drops on Saturday mornings this Saturday. It is chatting about how fit, fearless, and fabulous you are feeling this summer. And a little bit of a spoiler, sometimes I'm feeling some of that more in the winter. So I'm just going to put that teaser out there. So have a listen. If you're wondering about how to connect to the podcast, reach out and I'll let you know. So thank you again, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Have fun. And I do encourage you to play with this right away, right where it's fresh in your mind. So if you're having your coffee right now, have fun with the mindfulness around your coffee. Bye for now.